What's up, guys? Thanks for coming back to Lockdown Universe. Just wanted to let you guys know that Anchor now is allowing you to become part of the Lockdown Universe experience by becoming part of the subscription. We're only charging $1.99 currently, and we want you to be part of the experience. We're going to offer unheard of whistleblower testimony, as well as government insider information, as well as folks who have undergone hypnotic regression and told us their story. So please tune into that if you are interested for deeper cuts and deeper information. Please consider being part of the subscription. It's only $1.99 and it's definitely worth it. So join in. Let's get to the show. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and lore. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Another evening, another episode, and I gotta tell you, I was just finishing up watching a documentary called UFOs Among Us, if I'm not mistaken. I'll just double check that. But this is a really interesting documentary. I mean, it's not that I haven't seen documentaries before. Yeah, E.T.'s Among Us, I apologize. And it has a lot of common information in it, but nonetheless, this one in particular actually had a story in it by David Perkins, who wrote a book called Altered Steaks, not altered like mental states, but altered steaks like cow steaks, and great title, by the way. But what's interesting is he talks about how he ran into, through the course of his research, he ran into an old a friend of his, a scientist, who worked for Sandia Labs for 29 years. Now, if you don't know what Sandia Labs is, it's a government contracted laboratory where they work on all kinds of high tech, high classified, top secret kind of experiments. He stated to his friend that the aliens are taking the eyeballs, the rectums, the mouth area from the cows and using it. Now, the question has always been for these cattle mutilations is what the hell are they using eyeballs and just a laser cut incision around the mouth and the anus for? Like, what purpose can you use that for? You can't recreate a cow that way. What kind of information can you gather? The information is here. The information is from this scientist, and he stated that the aliens are using those portions of the body for the bacteria to be utilized to nurture these hybrid humans, aliens that they're creating. So they're utilizing the bacteria. They're taking this bacteria, they're taking it back, they're creating these space cows, which I had previously done a podcast on, but I'm doing this it more veracity because this new information has come to light out of this particular documentary. It's really interesting because if you go through David Perkins' particular portion in this documentary, I mean, the guy is 100% legit. I mean, he just seems like he's telling it just the way it is, the honest truth of his encounter with his friend, and not only just the encounter with his friend, but also with other individuals who he's done research with. Now, this friend, who was a scientist who worked with Sandia Labs for 29 years, also stated to him not only that they have verifiable proof that the aliens were taking the bacteria from the cows, and that they saw the cows being levitated up into the craft and merely just dropped back to Earth after they were done, but they also were involved in giving the aliens their hybrid children. This scientist from Sandia Labs is saying this. He's saying that he and his wife were directly involved in giving these aliens their hybrid human alien babies so that they could go off to whatever other planet they needed to go to solve this mission. He didn't specify what the mission was, but that there was a definite mission involved, and that these hybrids were part of it. Now, another researcher the on the documentary states that through his research, he believes that these hybrids have been and continue to be brought to Earth to be placed into apartments, three hybrids or four hybrids at a time, and to live here and to start integrating and to start being part of the culture. And he believes that the alien agenda is to have global dominance, is to have a global appropriation. I think are the words that he used. Global appropriation, to basically take over the planet through slow, calculated methodology, dropping off a few hybrids here, dropping off a few hybrids here, dropping off a few hybrids here, and to continue to evolve the human spirit or human species further and further. Now, if you take a look at evolution and things like that, it kind of makes sense, because let's say that gorillas were here, right? That primates were here, obviously before humans, and they came down and they were like, okay, we're going to use the highest form of intelligence that we can find. We're going to splice our DNA with it. We're going to try to see how highly evolved we can make it, and we're just going to continue the process until we get a species that we're happy with. And so they continued with the Neanderthal. They continued with Cro-Magnon man, and until they were able to get to the human that we have today, right? Homo erectus, right? And there were so many different pieces along the way, different species subtitles along the way, to get to where we're at. And so the next evolution would be the hybrids. It makes sense, but it's really just fascinating to see the length in which they're willing to go. They're actually willing to take the cattle, which a lot of us eat, and utilize that as a portion of the methodology in which they're keeping these hybrids healthy. What's interesting to me is that we have a lot of vegetarians on this planet, and they're perfectly fine, perfectly healthy, right? Even I have been a vegetarian for a portion of my life. I'm not right now, but I would like to be. But there's just kind of this part of me that just feels like it needs the meat, right? It needs like the protein for whatever reason. Not all the time, not every day, but every now and then, like once a week, it's just like you get that feeling in your body like you need the meat. And I've talked about this with like many other people, who have been vegetarian or who haven't, and there's just like this like feeling that we need it from time to time. And so is there something innate within us that requires the meat? We know that a red meat diet is bad for us, right? We know that it is cancer causing, that eating like charred meats is a carcinogen. But is there something within the meat that we need, that the aliens obviously know that our hybrids need to stay healthy and to thrive? And that's the most interesting thing, the most interesting takeaway of this particular documentary for me, is that there's something that they're creating out of the alien bacteria that we require. But what is it, right? The Dalai Lama, even himself, the Buddhists are supposed to be vegetarian, but even the Dalai Lama stated that, because of his, he has like a lower B vitamin and lower like iron deficiency and a few other things that he needs to eat meat for, so he does eat the meat. So, what is the bio reasoning behind the whole space cow, space steak, altered steaks requirement for our hybrid human alien counterparts? It's really fascinating to me. But then, the sheer fact that the Sandia Labs scientist was willing to just blurt out the fact that he and his wife are just part of this whole hybrid experiment was just fascinating to me. And I mean, obviously the list goes on and on and on. There's so many poor women who have their fetuses taken from them 3, 4, 5 months all the time, and so that's very devastating for many people. So it just goes to show you like the lengths that this has been going on. It's been going on for millennia, because we have cave drawings, like I talked about in the last podcast, 30,000 years ago, where our ancestors were shooting arrows at spacecraft that were trying to abduct cows. And it clearly shows that they're trying to abduct cows, that they've been doing this hybridized experiment for over 30,000 years. Over 30,000 years. It's really, really fascinating. So if any of you guys have an idea as to what they require out of the space stakes, let me know. I mean, I can't imagine that they need to make McDonald's on planet Venus. There's no requirement for Burger King over on Uranus. Um, we love it. We'll eat Burger King. We'll eat McDonald's, but we know it's bad for us. So there has to be something is innately needed in meat, at least for the time being. And maybe it's something that they're trying to work out. Maybe they're trying to work it out of our system, but they can't. They haven't figured it out yet. They haven't figured it out yet, and they still need that. So it's very, very interesting. And it kind of makes you, even take it a step further. And I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but like the energy that's transferred from a living thing into another living thing. The cow was a living thing, and when you eat its meat, many previous religions believe that you're taking that energy from that living entity, that soul, into your body so that you can continue living. That's something to think about as we continue to research this is what is the energy transference. Why can't we just live off of vegetables alone? The vegetables are a living thing, and they're a healthy living thing, and they give us plenty of vitamins, and they give us plenty of minerals that we need. Why is it that we need to have a living sentient thing, according to these ufologists and according to these abductees and these scientists that work for the government, are part of this program? There's something that we need. That is a true mystery to me. It should be for you too. So anyway, something for you to research, something for you to look into. If you guys have any idea, feel free to pop it up on the page and be happy to look at it. Anyway, hopefully you guys are taking care of your spiritual health, your emotional health, your physical health, taking care of your hobbies and your goals and your dreams this holiday weekend, and taking care of your family, and as always, continuing to question the universe around you. Until next time, Lockdown Universe out.